So here's a question I keep getting, or I got from on my YouTube channel was Lee's assessment of the Olympia, the 212 guys at the
Mm-hmm.
Olympia, and what are my thoughts of it. So this is what inspired this. I'm like, well, I don't need to have an opinion. I want to bring him on and get his
Mm-hmm.
opinion, and it'll be a nice surprise for people to get to see you talking about it. So you had Flex winning, you had Ahmad third, you had me third, and Ahmad second. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these you could basically flip flop. I mean, I'm not arguing
Yeah,
with it.
that's what I said. You got to flip flop, but to me, it's like I said with Flex. I've seen him look a lot better. That's for sure. And like I said, with you and Amar, you can flip flop that. But it's like I think I said to Dave, even with you, to me, I said you were vascular and you were full as, but to me, that's where I said you might have been just that little bit too full. And like I said, if you're trying to please judges, you can't, like I said, please everybody. That's what I've always said to myself. Just come in the best you can be. And on the day, who knows, the judges might say, shit, that's the look we're looking for. Because I think half the time the judges don't know to the fucking day of the contest. They look up and go, okay, we want someone this full, but then someone comes in a bit smaller, but ripped. They go, fuck, now we want that look now. So it's like you can never
Right.
tell, especially the women go through that all the time. Some women come in too hard, too soft. They tell them to come in harder one year, so they come in harder. Then they pick someone who's got the softer look. So as long as you can be the best you can be. So like with your physique, I figured like you carry all the mass you need. So I just figured, if you could come in with that super dry vascular, but that dryness that, like Dorian used to have where you could just looks like your
Yeah.
skin's painted on, like you just got saran wrap over the muscles. So every time you move, you just see every fibre moving.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, that just makes the judges think harder. So, like I said, it's hard to say. I know some people said Amar should have beat Flex and stuff like that, but as I said, it's always hard to knock off the champ. We've seen it before when a champ come in that little bit off, they're still going to give it to him, whether it's just judges being a bit lazy or who knows what it is. But to me, if the champ is a little bit off, mix it up. Have somebody else win, because then it makes that excitement for next year. The champ's coming back, and this is going to happen. But given it, that's the saddest thing. When the champ's a little bit off and he still wins, you get guys like yourself or anyone who say you're in the best shape you can be in. And you're like, well, fuck, what do I have to do? If I'm 100% and he's fucking 90% and I still can't beat him, what the fuck?
Right.
Because I know, back in the day, Flex that used to say, they'd say, I remember it's a 97 Ironman when I got Flex one, I was second, Coleman was third, I think Aaron Baker was fourth. And now
Damn.
backstage, Sean Ray was he's like, oh, Lee, I think you might have my boy today. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I said, I'll see when it's over. And then Flex come walking over, he goes, Lee, I'll admit, he goes, you do look better than me, but because of who I am, I'm going to win the show. And I mean, I put in the show to
At
copy
least he was
bastard.
honest.
Yeah, but it's like, you'd be stuff like you'd hear him all the time. It's like they'd say, well, back when they first turned pro, Flex called me. I'd come into the pro show shredded, but then as time goes on, because diving for a contest is so much mental stress, stress on your body to get down to that shredded thing. That they'd come in a little bit softer, and they're thinking, well, shit, you know what? I just want a show like this, so I don't really need to kill myself anymore. If I can win a show coming in this condition, why go balls to the wall? And then you get someone who does go balls to the wall, comes in 100%. I think Dexter at one of his shows not long ago, could have been a couple of years ago, when he was making the speech about winning, goes, yeah, I'm not at my best today. And I think, well, how can you say you're not at your best and be happy that you fucking won when guys who are at their best, you fucking beat them? So it's like, it
Yeah.
just gets depressing when that sort of thing happens, especially when I say you're a competitor on stage. I'm all for the best man on the day winning. Like if there's Flex, you and everybody else that we know, names that we know, but then some guy just appears out of nowhere from Russia or somewhere, if he's the best on the day, he should win the show. Forget this pay your dues and we don't know who you are. You can easily sit there and look up and see who's got the best physique on the day. It's not hard. And like I've always said, it's so funny. Okay, you're going to have people have their favourite. Like you're going to be somebody's favourite. No matter how you look, they're going to put you first no matter what, because you're their favourite. But then if you have an audience of 5,000 people, okay, once your favourites are sort of pushed to the side, everybody else will go, well, he should have won, he should have got second. You'll have probably 3,000 people with the exact same placings, but then the judges down the front were the total opposite. You're like, well, how does that happen? They'll say, well, we're professional judges, we know what to look for. But, hardcore bodybuilding fans who, like I said, are there to watch a show, they're pretty switched on to, looking for conditioning, balance, symmetry and stuff like that. And like I said, they've come up before when I used to compete saying that if your stomach did stick out, you would be deducted points. And for a couple of people, they did deduct points, but then for other people, they didn't deduct points. So it's one of
Right.
those things, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it. So,
I know that being this is going to be my 10th year heading into the Olympia, and every year is the same judges, and that is
mm-hmm,
concerning. I'm like, even at my all-time best, the best I'm going to do now is third. I'm like,
mm-hmm,
that's the feeling I have the minute I get up there and I look down there. the head judge is one thing, but to see like almost every single face is exactly the
Mm-hmm.
same, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I said. And that can play on your mind a lot because, as you
yeah,
said, getting ready for a contest, to me, it didn't bother me because I never liked competing. To me, about going to the shows was about the fans, going to the things. So as long as I knew I came in the best I could be, I didn't give a shit about the placings. If I was in when I was in the Open Olympia, people say, Lee, how do you hope to do? I said, look, back then, if you got top 10, that qualified you for next year. So I'm like, look, if I make top 10, I'm happy. If I get 8th, 9th, anything up from that, hey, I'm happy. So I couldn't be bothered about it. But as I said, it's one of those things you just got to go in. And now, like you said, if you've got the same judges that see you every year, it's one of those things you got to come in pick something different. Like I said, if you're coming in so full and that sort of thing, they're used to seeing like that. Maybe next time try just coming in super dry. Like I said, you might not be as full, but that little bit drier. Your joints are going to look smaller. The waist will come in a little bit smaller. So overall, up on stage, the illusion is, fuck, look what's he done. He's changed himself. Because I remember the time when I used to get diet down, it's just that illusion. When I used to be bulked up at 285 in the off season, I'd start dieting. I'd get to 240 in the gym. People walk up to me, fuck, Lee, if you put size on, I'm like, I just lost 40 fucking pounds.
right,
But because they can see the muscle coming out more, it looks like I'm getting bigger. And then when I was down at that weight, I'd be backstage at the Ironman, always covered up, long black pants, long back sleeve shirt on. And so no one could see me. I'd go into the bathroom, put my trunks on, put the oil on, then put the long clothes back over me and go stand in a corner, face away from everyone and just pump up. And then as soon as I take my shirt off, people call me and be like, fucking hell, where'd that shit come from? Sometimes the guys who looked up most unassuming in clothes are the ones you've got to watch out for. So
because they're in shape.
Dressed. Yeah. So and back then everyone was all sucked in the face. I think some guys now, I see them at the press conference and the day of the shows, they look like me 2 weeks after a show. You're still vascular, you're still full as, but your face is all fucking puffy. Back in when I was competing, you could tell who was in shape because they were so fucking gaunt in the face, looking like death warmed up. But it's one of those things. But I just go for dryness and just condition because, like I said, it's so much an illusion, especially for us lucky because we're a shorter bodybuilder. Once you're up there, just that illusion of all the compact muscle on your frame can just look so much better.
Yeah.
I see, that's the bad thing at our height too. If you try and pack too much on, then it'll start going in the wrong places. Slowly it will go to your waist and stuff like that. Then your waist gets a bit bigger. The shoulders don't look as wide and stuff like that. So it only takes a small thing just to throw you completely off balance.
Right. I just did the Ferrigno, and it was I was the 212 competitor in the Open, and I placed fourth. And when you looked at us on stage, I was outweighed by a minimum of 30 pounds by each guy, and I still looked just as big as every guy did because I was
that's what
5 inches
just an
short.
illusion. Because like I said, I'll give Chris Cormier a hard time when I won the San Fran, saying, Chris, what did you weigh again? He's like 260. I'm like, oh, fuck, a guy under 200 beat you? You'd be like, oh, fuck off. So, but you see back in the day, too, look at Librado when he used to compete in the Olympia. Librado weighed about, 180, 186 on stage,
Right.
But yet when he stood beside those big guys, just because of his lines and the balance, okay, he gave away 50, 60 pounds to some of them, maybe even 70 pounds, but he didn't look out of place there. He looked like he should have been there. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, it's just sometimes you've got to get that weight out of your head. Sometimes, even in the Open, Mr. Olympia these days, going up against Phil, Kai probably did a thing, I've got to come in bigger, and it all started with Ronnie. Everyone wanted to come in bigger. So Flex back in the day, Flex said his best body weight was 218, but then when Flex started competing at 230 up in the 240s, yes, when he stood there, he just looked smooth. When he hit a pose, he looked cut, but it wasn't that. And when he won the Arnold Classic at 218 pounds, he looked like he was 260, just from the small joints, the muscle being so full, jumping off the bone. Like I said, it's a catch-22. You try and come in too big. Like I said, it goes to the wrong places, sad. And I think with Kai Green, there's a guy that could have been Mr. Olympia. If he came in with that Dorian dryness, and his waist small, his back's freaky as, but the thing is, you get bigger in the midsection, the waist gets bigger, your back doesn't look as impressive, then you got that little film of water over the muscle. So it's just one of those things. You just got to be happy with you and don't chase anybody else. If he's going to weigh this, who gives a shit what he's going to weigh?
Right.
Just come in the best you can do and just shock him. That's why I said when I went to the universe, I think I just better concentrate on my conditioning and just come out there and just wow him with conditioning. So
nice. Yeah, I think Kevin LeBron was another one of those guys who looked a lot better when he was like 230, 235, as opposed to when he was competed at 255, 260.
But there's a few of them have like that when you see them when they've either come up through the Nationals or USAs and going on, Branch is a great bodybuilder, great work ethic. But then we look back at some of Branch's earlier shows, to me, he looked better then. He had the smaller waist. He still had the freaky quads. He had the big chest and that. But then as he got bigger and bigger, he got that more of a blockier look and just didn't look as good anymore. So he still did well in contest. But to me, I just shouldn't have. Some of those placings shouldn't have been there. But to me, he looked better then. I think that's what people lose sight of. They get so obsessed by this. I got to be bigger because this guy's this way. I got to come in at this way. No, you don't. It's like you don't need to do that at all. Well, look at Bonac he got third at the Olympia. I'm sure he wasn't weighing as much as them, but he looked great and his conditioning was spot on. To me, he's like one of the best conditioned guys up there. So it can be done.
Absolutely. I think that the current crop of what you're seeing is a result of judging. It's not that the guys are doing something; they're doing what is being asked for. Apparently,
And that's what happened with the women's bodybuilding. When they were coming in bigger and bigger, they told the women, cut back, be smaller. But yet, because that's when I was married to Kathy at the time, Kathy lost 20%, like they said. You got to lose 20% of your muscle. So a lot of the girls did that, what the judges asked for. But then the day of the show, when they went to compete, they placed the bigger girls first and second again. So they're like, well, you asked for us to come in smaller. You're still giving the big girls first, so the girls keep coming in bigger and bigger. And you're saying this is destroying bodybuilding, the women's bodybuilding, which it did, and they stopped it altogether. So they're saying that these bloated stomachs and guys coming in looking all blocky isn't good for bodybuilding. Now they've got, the classic physique. And to me, the classic type class is what bodybuilding used to be, because it can happen. You remember Paul Dillette and these guys. There's a guy freaky as hell. Paul was a big guy, massive upper body, massive legs, but he had a small waist. So big guys can have small waists. So, but it says sadly now when they're adding all this extra weight, it's not going to their arms or their legs or anywhere else. It's just going to the midsection, whether they're carving up too much before shows. Because I'll go into a contest with a small waist and be full. After a contest, like I said, you eat for a week or two and you still look good. You're still vascular. But then, like I said, my gut's sticking right out here. I still got abs, but my gut's pushed out, and that looks like how a lot of guys are competing today. It looks like they're a week or two after a show, they're so carved up and so full, just like I said, just going in the wrong direction.
So how do you? What are your thoughts on women's bodybuilding and the fact that it's gone? Are you a fan of it? Do you think it should be back?
I liked it. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of okay, I'm not the one to say, you shouldn't be that big, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. But some women I think did push it past that point where. I guess in the bodybuilding crowd, we can sort of accept it because we know what goes into it. But the general public and stuff like that, you can still look feminine and still have a great physique, fine. But then some just went overboard, I think, and that's what sort of gave it away. And so many women didn't want to go that far. Whereas there's supplements involved for women that look like that. I think a lot of them didn't want to push that envelope, and a lot of them got upset and depressed because they don't want to do that to their bodies and have to look that certain way. And so I said that's when Kathy and them would get upset because they're like, we've done what you asked. We've come in smaller, but you're still giving the big girls first place. No wonder the girls are coming in big because you're giving them first place. Like I said, even you hear it now with even figure girls, bikini girls.
Yeah.
Some will come in, your abs are too hard, come in softer. So they come in softer. The girl with the more ab wins. It's like, well, fucking hell, you'd be going mad. That's why I've always pretty much said, if you've got a rough idea of how your class is meant to look, just come in looking the best you can be because if you're trying to please judges, you might have 7, 9 judges. Each one of them, one might think you look great. The next judge, you're a little bit softer. You're too hard in the abs, or your shoulders are too hard. You should have went in maybe physique, not bikini. Or you should have maybe done fitness and not this. It's like, you just drive yourself mad trying to work out where you're going to fit in. So just be the best you can be, really, and don't worry about pleasing other people or trying to keep up with other competitors. Just do what you can do.
What do you feel about the classic physique, the men's classic?
I don't mind it, but then it's going to be one of those things too. How far are they going to push that? Because really, to me, bodybuilding back in the early days was classic,
Right.
It was the small waist, the broad shoulders, that was bodybuilding.
Right.
Then it slowly progressed into, once Dorian come along and that, they got bigger and bigger and people started pushing the envelopes. And now, are they going to keep classic under control, or is in 5, 10 years, is classic going to become the same as bodybuilding now? Because you're going to have guys that do classic who are going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And then they're going to start pushing the envelope and then start getting bigger around the midsection. So,
no, they just upped the weight limit.
Time will tell.
They just upped the weight limit 5 more pounds for this year, so it's headed right where you're saying.
The 212 started off at 202.
Right.
Now it's going to 212. And to me, too, I've always said, I think it was back in the day, I remember there used to be comments about Kevin English would weigh in at 202, but come to the contest stage, he was 220 on stage.
Yeah.
Because you diet down that much. I think, to me, that's wrong. It's like, if you're going to do a 212 class, you should be 212 or on the day or close to it. You can't come in and weigh in at, under 212 or be 212, and then on the day of the show, step on stage at 225. You should be in the fucking open. 212 guys should be 212 or under.
Right.
Not, going the carb up, because to me, that's how it should be. If you're going to come in weighing 220 or more, go in the open,
Well, I say that we should weigh in the day of the show. It makes
That's
perfect
what I've always
sense.
said. I've always said the same thing. So,
I mean, because I'm particularly one who's not near the weight limit. During
well,
weigh-ins,
if you're
might
coming
be.
in at, say you're going to come in at 204, 205, and you're a genuine 204,
Yeah.
and then just say Flex Lewis came in at, 218, 16 pounds on a shorter guy, that's a big illusion, a big ton of muscle. It's a lot to give away. If it's a taller guy, shorter guy, you won't notice it as much. But on a shorter guy, that's a lot of size to give up, and it's noticeable. So that's what I've said. On a 212, you should be 212 on that day.
Yeah, I'm lobbying for it. Me and David Henry were talking to Robin Chang about it. I'm like, in Korea, we had to weigh in the night before. So they didn't have 3 days to carb up like the Olympia. And you noticed a big difference between, if you go back and look at some of the pictures, Flex had trouble filling out. And it was, no one would have argued if either me or Hadi Chupan beat him that day.
Well, like I said, even the night before, you can still carb up a little bit, but maybe not as much. But I've always said, even just the morning of, if prejudging is at 10, 212, we want you down here at 8:30, 9 o'clock to step on the scale.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And I said, if you're ready, you're ready. Simple, like I said. And to me, okay, when Flex fills out, he gets really hard sometimes. And there's a couple of times I've seen Flex, you figured, why doesn't he do the open? If Bonak's placing third, I've seen Flex Lewis look like he could easily place third, second, or whatever. Sometimes I think there was, a year or two ago, there's a picture of him after the Olympia. You're thinking, fuck, that condition looks like he could have maybe taken Phil on. So, it's good to have. It's good to have all these 212 titles. But to me, if you're only in it for a certain amount of time these days before your career is over, getting second or third in the Mr. Olympia would be like probably winning the 212 5 years in a row to money difference. So
right.
Because you got a family to think of and kids and stuff. You got to start thinking financially down the line, because it's all going to come to an end. Or sadly, you could be training one day and it could come to an end just by tearing a muscle. So
right, Bonak made $100,000 coming in third.
What's first place at the 212 now?
40.
Yeah, see, so you get extra 60,000.
yeah. I have a feeling he'll end up moving up. He's still young, man. He's got plenty of time. And there's a lot of new guys on the block coming, chasing after him hard.
Yeah. So it just depends on what he wants. You can, if you win that a few times, you could be the winner of the 212 class, 10 years in a row. And you can market, I guess if you market yourself properly, you can live off that and, make a thing from that. But I think people always want to see, I never had the choice when I was competing, so I was always happy just to go up against the big. I never really thought about it, It wasn't one of those things that I ever thought about. These guys are heavier than me, they're bigger than me. It just never crossed my mind. So yeah,
I think the judging has changed because of that. Because they see a 212 guy in the open, they're like, well, he's a 212 guy.
Yeah, I've always thought that too. Like I said, if you go into the open now, they're thinking, oh, you're a 212 guy, you should be in the 212, you shouldn't be here. So I don't think they're going to judge you as fairly as they used to when it was just the open class. So.
Exactly. All right, this is the Boston Mass. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you're not subscribing, subscribe now. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't, do it now. All right?